The world is a carousel of color. Wonderful, wonderful color.
Walt Disney presents
The wonderful world of color.
And now, from the wonderful world of Disney, the story of Bristleface.
And now, here's your host, Walt Disney.
If you were a young lad, 14 years of age, and you had your heart set on owning a sleek, handsome, well-bred foxhound, and then this came along and picked you to be his best friend, what would you do? Now, that's what happened to Jace Landers, an orphan boy who lived in Tennessee back around the early 1920s. You'll see what he did about our friend here in the story we now bring you.
Hey, fella. Up kind of early, aren't you? Where are you from? So that's what you are, is a turtle hound. Well, I got no use for box turtles these days, but thanks just the same. So long, old Bristleface. Go home. You can't come with me. You can't come with me. Now stay. Why don't you go home where you belong? Oh, you don't have a home. Well, that's not hard to understand. Who'd want an ugly, stickery turtle hound like you anyway? All right. If you want to be a tramp like me, we may as well hit the road together.
Morning.
Sir? I was just wondering if there was something...
Don't tell me now, let me guess. You want a pair of pliers.
Pliers?
Ain't you gonna pull them porcupine quills out of his face?
Them ain't quills, mister. Those are hairs. Big stiff hairs growing out.
Hairs? Dang thing. Now, I thought I'd seen every kind of dog there is, but I never have come across one like that. He's a regular prickle bush. What's he good for?
He can sniff out box turtles. That's one thing he can do.
That sounds like a right uncommon breed. Where'd you get him?
I didn't get him. It's just the opposite around. He got me. If you want him, sir, you're welcome. Seems to take to you.
Boy, you kind of look like you got a belly full of wrinkles. How long you been off your feed?
About a week.
Where are you heading?
Memphis. I'm hankering to work on a steamboat.
Memphis. I'm Luke Swank.
Jace Landers.
Come on in, Jace. Him too. There you are. See if you can get on the outside of that. Come here, dog. Come here. Sit down. Sit down now. All right. There you go. I got a box of table scraps out back. You can give them to him later. Yeah, you like that? Yeah? Dog? What's the name?
I don't know. I just call him Bristleface.
Well, now, how'd you ever think of that? Bristleface. Well, that took a lot of imagination. All right, Briss. Look at that now, would you? Ain't got a care in the world. Oh, I tell you, Jason, I've had more problems around here lately than I know what to do with. If I just had me some more thinking time, maybe I could figure a way to work them out or else live with them. You ain't tearing in a hurry to get to Memphis?
No.
The reason I asked, I could use a smart young fellow around here for a few days.
Yes, sir.
Having somebody to help me with the business would give me more thinking time. Besides, that'd give you a chance to earn a little something extra to go to Memphis in style. What do you think of that?
Yes, sir. Great. All right.
Good. Well, I'll show you what to do. Now, your main job is going to be delivering orders. And when I ain't here, folks just write down what they want in that slate. Now, of course, you won't be getting any wages at first, just your bed and board.
Yes, sir.
That way we'd be more like partners than just hired man and boss.
Yes, sir.
You can just call me Luke. Well...
Hounds make sweet music, don't they?
Aren't you asleep?
No, sir.
We chased the fox up on Crow Ridge tonight.
You own fox dogs, Luke?
Yeah, I used to. Ain't an awful lot of bother for a hard-working fella like me. So to do it right, you got to give them all kinds of training and conditioning. That takes an awful lot of time. I ain't got none of that to spare. There's too much to do. Bristle's got any foxhound in him?
No. He wouldn't know a fox if one stopped him on the road and said howdy.
Uh-huh.
What was that?
It's a mountain lion.
There's lions around here?
Mm-hmm. They're rare, but there's a few of them. Oh, got clawed last year.
Boy, I wouldn't want to meet up with one of them, dark or daytime.
Smells awful good.
Come and get it.
Well, now then.
Eat 'em while they're hot.
Well, now that is what I call something. I never could stand kids work myself. And oh yeah.
Have another.
Have one yourself. Well, no sense letting them go to waste. Why don't you just put them in the stove and they'll keep the fire banked till supper. We gotta make us a delivery on some shelled corn.
We? I thought you said I was the delivery boy.
No, them sacks weigh about 100 pounds apiece. You're gonna need a little help on this one.
Slickered and smelled up like that when you go to make deliveries?
You just take care of your chores. Don't mind about me.
Yes, sir. Myrtle, this is Jace Landers. He's my new assistant.
Howdy do, Jay.
I do, ma'am.
Like I've been telling you, the business just getting so big, I can't hardly cope with it by myself no more.
I know, Lou. You and all your What in tarnation is that?
Oh, that's a dog. Yeah, that's Bristle Face. He's first of his kind, I believe.
Now, don't tell me that's a foxhound.
Oh, Myrtle, I wouldn't deceive you none like that.
I'm hoping he is, ma'am. He don't have the hide for one, but he's got the general build and looks.
You too?
Ma'am?
You're a foxhound fanatic already, and you ain't even grown up yet.
Well, ma'am, I think...
Jace, don't pay her no mind. Now, women just don't know how to savor the finer things of life,
I ask you now, what's so fine about sitting around a campfire all night long listening to dogs a-barking?
Myrtle, they don't bark, they bail. Bail, it's a melodious sound, and it takes a lot of breeding and training to get that.
And that's nothing but living proof that all men have 10 ears held apart by pure bones. If you want my advice, boy, which you don't, you'd set that dog up to doing something useful, like herding the cattle or guarding the chicken coop, instead of putting them out to romp through the piney woods on moonlit nights.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, days are wasting. Let's put the feed in the barn.
Whoop. Oh, here, now, son. Now, don't bite off more than you can chew. Go on over there and get yourself a nice drink of water out of the pump. Come on
I'm
now.
not thirsty.
That's a man's job, son. Man's job.
Be careful, Mr. Swang.
Oh, they don't weigh no more than about 100 and some odd pounds, these things.
Would you like that drink of water now, boy?
Don't mind if I do, ma'am. Stay there, Briss.
Where you from, Jace?
A little town about 50 miles east of here, ma'am.
You didn't run away, did you?
No, ma'am. Not exactly. See, my mom and pa died, and I was staying with some kinfolks. But they have kids of their own to feed. So I got big enough to make my own way, so I just lit out.
Do you like working for Mr. Swang?
Sure do, ma'am.
You take care now he doesn't work you to death.
Him?
Right now he's showing off. But he doesn't fool me a bit. If he didn't have a lazy streak running down in my yard, why? He'd make somebody a right fine husband. And that's for sure.
Quit that! Quit it! Quit that! Quit it! There you are! Hey! Quit that!
Don't just stand there and get a leash on that brute before he's the ruination of me.
Oh, there you is! Get him!
Briss, come here, Briss. Come on, boy.
Here, Briss!
Come on, come here, Briss. Come here, Briss. Come here. Briss, come here.
Come here.
Briss, come here, please.
Briss,
Come here. Briss, come over here. Briss.
Get out of there.
There you go!
Lou? You stuck on that woman.
What woman? You mean the widow?
You sure act like it.
Whatever give you an idea like that? There's one woman in this world I clearly can't abide, it's her.
But you laughed at Bristleface back there even after what he did. How many women folks will do that?
Well, don't let her fool you none with that. See, when a woman's got her cap set for a man, well, she can spread on that honey real thick.
You think she's got her cap set for you?
I'm afraid so. See what they do, they get...
She told me that...
Don't interrupt me now when I'm philosophizing. I'm trying to let you in on a couple of so-called secrets about women that you ought to know. Now, for instance, they're always trying to change things, especially us men. Seems that they ain't satisfied with a man the way the good Lord made us. No. They got to go and make something out of us, is what they call it. Drive us on to bigger and better things. My observation about the only thing I've ever seen a man driven to is drink, and that ain't for me. No, sir, that woman don't faze me, not one little bit.
Luke,
Well,
do you know you didn't make your turn back there?
oh, what? Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. We got to get into town and pick us up some supplies. Come on, Matty.
Come on, Britt. Come on, there, boy. Come on. Can me and Britt stretch your legs?
Just stay out of trouble here, especially him.
Yes, sir.
Well, look at that.
He's some kind of an animal.
Look at them broom straws sticking out of his front.
It's a porcupine. That's what.
You're wrong. It's a calf. Hey, what do you call this here porky calf, boy?
Come on, Britt. Let's go.
Got your dog, kid?
Can you do something, mister? My dog will be killed.
He sure enough does appear to be in a bad way now, don't he? What's the matter with you? You want to bust him a rib or something?
Let go of him, Red. Now call up that brute of yours. Come on, call him off or I'll bust more in the rib.
Ain't no need to get all worked up, Luke. You know my critter only kills on command.
I know that, but the boy don't. Now call him off.
Deputy, go on home.
Come on. Seems like every time I turn around, you and that dog's some new kind of trouble.
We didn't do anything, Luke.
I know that. Just saying we best get him a collar and a lead strap so we can slow him down a little. Come on. Oh, Matty. Oh, Jace. The Emery Packer's been here, and he's all out of cigars. I'll show you how to get there.
Sure thing, Luke. As soon as we unload.
No, right now. I wouldn't think of keeping old Emery waiting for his little comfort.
Come on, Britt.
Where'd you buy him?
I didn't buy him. He just took me up.
Whistle him over.
Come here, boy. Come here. Come here, boy. Come here. Sure don't look good next to your dogs, Mr. Packer. Sheriff's dog knocked him clean off his feet today.
Sheriff's dog is bred for nothing but scrapping. I wouldn't have a brute like that around. No more than I'd want the sheriff around. Never could abide the bully. You take the professional prize fighter now. Would you think any the less of Loot if he couldn't whip such a man?
No, sir.
Same with dogs. They're born to do a certain job, just like people. I hear tell that even some are trained to sit in the laps of high-fashion ladies.
But did you ever hear of a dog that was born to do nothing but catch box turtles? I bet I couldn't even get a good trade on him.
I wouldn't think too quickly about trading him off, laddie. Sometimes a fella has a lot better dog or he thinks he has.
Well, maybe. But I sure wish he was a fox chaser.
Tell you what. A couple of us fellas have a little chase night in Crow Ridge. Why didn't you bring him along?
Where's Crow Ridge?
Loot will tell you. Likely come himself.
Thanks, Mr. Packer. Thanks. I'll be there, sure. Come on, Briss.
Our story continues after these messages.
Oh, yeah. My grandpappy grew up there, too. Oh, fair enough. Stay up there 3-4 days. Achoo, Lute! What do you say there, Lute? Who's the boy, Lute?
Oh, listen, I want you to meet my new partner here, business partner, Jace Landers, gentlemen. Now, Jace, Bert Fogarty there, and Newt Pribble,
Howdy.
and his brother Sud over here,
Howdy.
and that's Hermie Chadron. And
Howdy, boy.
all you know, Mr. Emery
Sit
Patton.
down, boy.
Oh, it sounds like a hot trail.
Made a pickup a while back. Taking them south along Hames Ridge.
How do I get Bristle Face to trail, Mr. Packer?
Well, it's something you can't rush your dog into, son.
Yeah, I know. If he was a fox chaser, he'd be down there, not up here.
Listen at her. Man, that's my songbird. Man, that redbone warble's the sweetest tune this side of Pearly Gates. Come on, baby.
Oh, they're sure traveling now. Mine's in there, too, buddy. Can't you hear?
Listen at her. Listen at her.
Hear that big blue tick in yonder? That's Soul Plunger. Man, I'll tell you, there's a fox dog from Hewlett to Pine Knot. Maybe. But for a pretty sound, you can't beat a walker. Wow! See what I mean about a walker? Here's that gobbler mouth tongue in the line. That's my cakewalk. Shucks, Sam, a purty sound don't mean nothing. It's trailing that marks high on my scorebook. Cakewalk don't take no back pages there, Sonny. Why, she can sniff a wild turkey egg. 3 years later, cold trail the grown-up bird. I told her I loved her to death. Now she's telling me back the same.
Oh, come on.
You tell him.
What in Sam Hill is that?
It's a box turtle. Well, shut my mouth if it ain't, boy. If box turtles is good to eat, that there'd be a real valuable dog. Does that dog lay eggs, too?
What's wrong with him? Well, if you was hankering after a foxhound and some ugly old turtle hound come along and made you his best friend, how'd you feel, huh?
Yeah.
You gotta learn one thing pretty quick. And that is, you're just gonna get yourself all heartbroken by wishing that dogs and people are something that they ain't. You thinking about trading Bristle Face off so you can get yourself a real walker or redbone? Get the chance, that is.
I've been turning it over in my mind. But I guess I never could, no matter what. He's purely got into my blood.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Jace. If you hadn't, you wouldn't be my kind of people. Which you are.
done the widow?
Well, she's going to have fried chicken and peach cobbler.
I'd sooner go frog gigging.
All right, I just didn't want to think about you moping around on a fine Sunday afternoon like this is all.
Don't let the widow talk you into anything.
Young man, you happen to be speaking of old Luke Swank, the philosopher? And he is capable of looking out after himself.
Yes, sir.
Go, babe.
Well, I was just on my way out to see you. Nice of you to meet me halfway.
What's that?
A warrant for that bristle-faced dog?
A what?
Well, since that hired boy of yours is a minor, you're the responsible party.
I am. How come? I mean, what did the dog do now?
Well, it ain't so much what he's done as what he is. A bulletin from over Sasquatch County advertised a valuable off-breed dog lost by Mr. Render. Description fits that bristle-faced dog to a T. Have him in my office first thing in the morning, huh? So long, Swank. I hope I didn't ruin your evening.
Chris, look at here. He's a big one. You want to get him, boy? You want to get him? Yes, boy. You want to get him? Huh? You want to get him? It's a fox. You want to get him? You want to get him? Huh? You want to get him? Huh? Sick him, boy. Sick him. Sick him.
Scared for the dogs.
That's no calf.
Emery! Emery!
It's a dog and a good one, like him to lead the pack.
Emery! Emery! That's my dog. That's my bristle face. He's a fox dog, Emery. He really and truly is.
Come on over to the fire and dry out, laddie. What happened to you, son? Fallen Creek? They're coming down the holler.
And now, back to our story.
Load! Hey, load! Wait till you hear what happened. Bristle faces a foxhound, Lute, and honest for truly foxhound. You know how it happened? We were down at the stream, and gosh, I guess I forgot my sack of bullfrogs. I guess I must have. What's the matter, Lute? Something wrong?
Jace, I don't know any other way to put bad news but bad. Now, the sheriff wants Bristleface in town tomorrow. He's got a warrant for him, see? Now, there's a man over in the next county. Claims he's got a dog that was strayed or stole. He's supposed to look just like yours. Now, what we got to do?
You mean somebody owns him?
Yeah.
Somebody wants him?
That's right.
Lute, that sheriff must be wrong. Nobody ever wanted Bristle before. Not even me at first.
Look, don't argue with me. The sheriff has got a warrant for him, and that's all there is to it.
But, Lute...
I don't want to hear no more about it, you hear? It's time you growed up and got to learn to face things you can't change anyhow. So, go on into bed.
Not to follow me home. I told you to go back. I told you. Oh, Briss. Briss. Easy, Briss. Easy. I'll take care of you. Easy. Take it easy, boy. You hurt bad, Briss. We gotta stop the bleeding. I gotta get you to Lou. He'll know what to do. Oh, Briss, please don't die now. Please don't die.
Oh, easy now.
Is he all right?
Oh, he's all right. Just kind of weak, but he's all right.
Can I see him?
After a while.
He's over, Jace.
Sheriff come around and we got talking. Seems how Bristleface got chewed up so bad. Sheriff figures same to me that he ain't gonna be much use to that Mr. Renders no more, see?
Then he...
Poor now.
Then he is bad hurt.
No, he just looks a lot worse off than he is, that's all.
Law and no law, it's just not right to separate a boy and his dog. And that's exactly what I told Sheriff Toller.
I just same you shouldn't have run off.
We didn't run off. I just figured it was time for us to move on to Memphis.
Well, ain't gonna be plenty of time for that after you get yourself some more school and get some meat on your bones there.
It's like that lion was a sign from the Almighty, telling us not to turn our back on trouble, telling us that we ought to trust and love one another.
Briss. Oh, Briss.
On this wonderful world of Disney, the heartwarming adventure of the pooch with the unlikely puss continues.
That's Bristleface.
And he's the new leader of the pack. There may be a new leader of men, too,
The next high sheriff of Belknap County.
as Brian Keith hits the campaign trail
The cross fox is back.
and Bristleface sniffs out a dangerous new trail
Some foxes, it's able to run a dog to death.
in the exciting conclusion of Bristleface. Coming up next.
The world is a carousel of color. Wonderful, wonderful color.
Walt Disney presents
The wonderful world of color.
And now, tonight's program from the wonderful world of Disney, the concluding episode of Bristleface.
And now here's your host, Walt Disney.
To you and me, a dog's bark is just a bark. But to a hound dog man, the sound of dogs baying on the scent of a fox is the sweetest music this side of paradise. His dogs never bark. They sound, they sing, they bell, or they bay, but never, never bark. And when he has to call advice or orders to his dog, he uses this. very important that a fox chaser be horn trained, you know. It can even be a matter of life or death, as we're about to see in the further adventures of Jace Flanders and his bristle-faced dog.
That's Bristleface. He found it first. Hear him?
It beats me how that hunk of pine cone you call a dog can run circles around my hound. Just listening to that flop-eared doormat is downright painful.
Well, you said it. Why, that caterwauling fairly gives me the willies.
I'm horning mine in. I suffered enough for one night.
Reckon he'll ever learn the horn in?
I misdoubt it, Jace. Dogs seldom learn once they're out of puppyhood. Your dog is grown now.
If I was you, son, I'd sure keep a trying, though, for the dog's sake.
How come?
Well, there's some foxes that's able to run a dog to death if you ain't got some way of calling him in.
Don't I know it? You remember old Growler? Crossfox run him blind. I had to put him out of his misery.
Are they joshing me, Em?
Hey, no, never mind, Jace. You know these windbags.
Ain't no sense in misleading the boy, Em. Son, my advice to you is to horn train that dog of yours or get rid of him. Elsewise, you're heading for nothing but heartbreak. Hold still here.
There she comes. Come on, let's go there and get it. Come on, Lang. Let's go get it. Come on. Let's go. Come on now. Come on.
See you guys.
Good night. See you later.
Jace.
Well, he ought to be along in a minute. You said the fox holed up.
Could be. Fritz took off for home.
What's a cross fox, Em?
Ah, that's just the name we give a fox used to come around here.
Can he run a dog to death for a fight?
I ain't seen that old fox around here 2-3 years. Likely dead himself by now.
It's Briss. Good boy. Good boy.
Look at that big brute running half the night and still as spry as a pup. Tell you, boy, you won't have to fret none of that cross fox did come back. Come on, boy. Come on.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy. Come on. Bristleface led the pack again tonight. Did you hear it?
With a pillow over my head, I heard him. I'm going to bed.
Sure got myself a dog there, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
You know, funny how he turned out. One day he can't track anything faster than a box turtle. I can't even give him away for free.
Yeah.
The next day he's a lion fighter, the best fox dog in the whole county. And I wouldn't sell him for love nor money.
Good.
Luke?
No.
You know, I guess none of these fine things would have happened if it hadn't been for you. I mean, taking us in and making me your business partner and all. Gosh,
You keep talking, I'm gonna think you don't work hard enough to need a bed. Now, will you go on to sleep?
Luke,
All right.
you think maybe the widow jockey would let me borrow her dead husband's hunting horn?
I don't know. Now, go and ask her. Good night.
Luke? Are you fixing to marry the widow jockey?
What? Who said that?
I mean, is she putting you off because you won't sell the store and get a man-sized job?
Where'd you hear that?
Gee, I can't remember.
Well, you best remember it here. You best try and remember it, because that kind of defamation job has got to get nipped in the bud. You hear?
Well, gee, Luke, it was just a joke, I guess. Can't you take a joke?
No, I can't. I can't take a joke out about weddings, I can. I got a sense of humor just the same as the next man. There's got to be a limit to what people can say about you. That's all. And I know who starts all that kind of stuff, too. There's a bunch of old men that sit around in front of the courthouse on the front steps and sit there and talk all the time. They're worse than any bunch of old women that ever come on down the road.
Luke?
What?
Man, if we get some sleep, Chris and me are tired. Night. Sure want to thank you again, Miss Jockey.
Much obliged, Jay. I'm glad to see you put in use again.
Do you ever get lonesome living here all by yourself, Miss Jockey?
With all the work I have to do around here, land sakes, there isn't an idle moment to get lonesome in.
I was just wondering. I figured maybe, you and Luke was fixing to get married.
Whatever give you that notion?
I don't know. It's just what folks been saying.
What folks?
Just folks, I guess.
Pairing me off with that loafer? Why, if I thought for 1 minute he had his shifty eye on me in my place, I'd...
Excuse me, ma'am. I gotta go now.
Jay, it's kind of a hot day. Would you like a cooling glass of buttermilk?
Well, much obliged, ma'am. But I gotta help Luke fetch in some supplies from town. But thanks again for the horn. Come on, Briss. Morning, Em.
Morning, Em. What brings you to town, Em?
Oh, gotta come in once a year, find out who died, who got born, who's running for election.
Yeah. Listen, I got to go in and trade with Jasper. Come on along, have me confuse him, huh? Now, could you for one time see if you can keep that dog out of trouble here?
Get the stick, boy. Get the stick. Get the stick. Come on. Get the stick, Briscoe! Come on, boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Here, see the stick? Come on, Briss. You ready? Come on, boy. Get the stick. Come on, boy. Get it! Get it, Briss! Go get it, boy! Briss! Watch out!
Your dog, boy. You hear me, boy? Get your brute off my dog.
Let him up, Briss. He said, Uncle.
Deputy, get on home. Wait a minute there, kid. Ain't that the dog that lion clawed up a while back?
Yes, sir.
Made a right good recovery, didn't he?
He sure did.
I've been hearing about an off-breed foxhound been leading that Crow Ridge pack lately. Could this be him?
That's him, all right.
Well, then I'm impounding that dog, boy. Bring him on over to the office.
But, sir...
Don't give me no back talk, boy. You speaking to the law.
But why? What did he do?
Don't pull no innocent on me. That dog ain't yours, and you know it.
Come on, Bristle.
Hey, come back here, boy. Come back here, boy. You hear me? Come here to me.
Lou!
What's the matter?
Sheriff tried to take Bristleface away.
Well, Red, what kind of flea you scratching out now?
Bristleface whipped his dog, Luke. Whipped him good.
Good, huh? Well, that's how come your neck feathers is all riffled, huh?
That dog belongs to a man over in Batesville. You know that.
I don't know that for no fact. Neither do you.
Well, I ain't here to argue no law, Swank. I'm just doing my duty.
No, you're just being mean and spiteful like always. You know, I never have seen you halfway happy unless you was provoking somebody.
Crickety Luke, that's a telling them.
Tell me, Red, if I couldn't run a sheriff's office any better than you do, I'd just resign.
Anytime you think you man enough, go ahead and try it.
Take his dare, Luke. Run again him. Show him. Go on.
Go on. Quit it. You didn't get me in anything like that. Just forget it.
See what I mean? Windbag. Big mouth.
Make him beat them words, Luke.
And will you hush up?
Good boy! Folks, Luke just told me he'd declare for sheriff on the reform ticket.
What? I never said no such thing, and you know it. Now, just a minute. Now, all I'm going to declare is this. Now, Rad, everybody knows where that dog can be found, including you. So anytime you've got a man that says it's his, you just send him on over to me. And if he can prove that dog is his, then he can have him. That's all.
You hear of that? Spouting law, chapter and verse. That's our Luke. Next right up, folks, and shake the hand of Luke Swain, the next high sheriff of Belknap County. He ain't gonna run away from no fight. 3 cheers for Luke.
What's the fella have to do when he runs for high sheriff, Luke?
Well, I wouldn't know. You'd have to ask the expert there.
Well, handbills, billboards we got to think of.
And pay for with my hard-earned life saving.
Folks, you got to know how to spell your name right, Luke. That don't come cheap. And you got to handshake your way all over the county.
That's so folks can say, there goes Luke Swank, my personal friend.
It won't cost a thing.
Except my valuable time.
And you got to kiss all the cute little babies.
You little babies don't vote.
But their pappies do. And leave us not forget to smile at all the women.
Women ain't got the vote neither. Not yet they ain't.
Yeah, maybe. But they sure can talk up a storm for a man or again him.
You sure can do that.
Well, Luke's real good at talk yourself, right, Luke?
Yeah, that's another thing. We got to think us up some bigger lies than Rand told her.
Lies?
That's the word we use in politics, son. Means promises. Any lies Luke tells, he aims to keep, and don't you forget it.
When you're high sheriff, do you have to shoot people loose?
No more than a couple of years, I expect.
Oh, will you hush up, Em? As far as I know, the high sheriff ain't shot nobody in 40 years in this county. He don't do nothing. All he ever does is sit back in a big old swivel chair with his heels up on the desk watching the folks walk past the courthouse. Hey, how come I ain't never thought of running for high sheriff before?
That's the old spirit, Luke. Now you're working up to a real fighting edge.
Oh, boy. Now we can make the widow jockey eat her words, can't we, Luke?
You sure can. Come on. What words?
Didn't I tell you? She said you were nothing but a shifty-eyed loafer that was fixing to marry her for her money. But we'll prove her wrong, won't we, Luke?
Oh, you shut up. Here.
Declaring for sheriff like you did, Lute. That was a manly thing to do.
Well, nothing manly about it. I just got myself talked into it is all.
Go on. You're too modest for your own good.
I ain't modest a little bit. I'm just plain lazy. I ain't about to change either.
To think that in all these years you've been hiding your talents under a bushel. Just biding your time.
Well, I'm still biding my time, don't you forget it. Is that gonna be all, Myrtle?
Mm-hmm. I swear, Luke, you have a forthright, handsome quality about you I just never caught before.
Oh. Some cameras is devil's own invention. You don't want to believe everything, Sue.
Well, it's too bad we women don't have our vote yet, or we'd landslide you right into office. Bye.
Bye.
Our story continues after these messages.
Go across the road. Go on, cross the road. Now, it's time you and me had a heart-to-heart talk, Briss. Now, you're not taking this serious, and you should. This could be a life or death matter for you. Now, other dogs learn to hearken to the horn. Why can't you? Look at me when I'm talking to you. Now, you're smarter than most of them. You're smart about chasing the fox, and you're smart about doing most things you're told. Now, if you could just be smart about this, you'd be perfect. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Now, let's try it again. That boy, now you're getting it. Now, let's try it another way where you can't see me. Go around the store. Go on, go on. That's it, that's it. Going around. Go on, go on, go around. Stay there, stay there, stay, sit. You got it. That's it, boy. You finally got it. Now, let's do it again before you forget.
Where's Swank? Out campaigning?
Yes, sir. But he'll be back tonight.
Well, it don't matter. He told me anytime I had a legal claim against that dog, he'd bring him in himself. So you tell Luke to be in justice court with that animal at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. You got that, boy? Speak up, boy. I want to be sure you got it.
Justice court, 10 o'clock.
That's better. And don't go getting no notion about running off with that dog again. Or I'll have Swank serving jail time. And that wouldn't look so good right for election now, would it?
Morning, T-Dub. Load. I am. Morning.
Runner.
Bella.
Morning, Sheriff.
Your Honor, sir, this dog here, known as Bristle Face, was lost by a Batesville man named of Rinders.
And you're proposing?
To impound this dog, Your Honor.
You asking this court for an order to that effect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has the alleged owner been notified?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then why isn't he here?
He wrote he's getting in a crop and he can't leave for next week.
Now, Leroy, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Swank.
Morning, Justice Mackley. Your Honor, I'd like to make a little statement, please.
You just far away.
Well, sir, I'd just like to mention and point out that the day after tomorrow is Election Day, and...
I object. What's the election got to do with all this?
Well, sir, I just happen to think that the election is the only reason this trial was ever called at all, and the sheriff here figures he can make it look like his opponent, which is me, stole that dog. And then the law, which is him, had to drag me into this court so they could get that stole property back. So I'm willing to bet right here and now that this Mr. Renders, or whatever his name is, ever shows up at all, it's going to be after the election.
Gentlemen, this court is not a political arena. Now, Rad, do you have any proof of Mr. Render's claim?
You bet I have, Judge. A letter written by Mr. Renders himself and stamped by the Batesville Post Office.
Well, it appears we might have a case here at that. Now, is that the dog in question? Now, since the value of this dog is going to be an important factor in the case, I would welcome the opinion of an expert. Newt Pribble.
Yes, sir, Judge.
Next Emery Packer there, who's prejudiced in favor of the defendant, you are the best dog expert in these parts.
Well, thank you, Your Honor.
Would you step up here, please, sir? Is that, or is that not, a valuable fox dog?
Well, Judge, that dog ain't no foxhound.
Object. You trying to tell this court that dog won't chase fox?
I didn't say that, Sheriff. I said that dog weren't no foxhound.
Oh, come on now. Stop pettifogging, Mr. Pribble. Does that dog chase fox or don't he?
Well, sure he chases fox. Why, everybody in the whole county knows that.
And will you further admit, Mr. Pribble, that this dog has been leading the Crow Ridge pack, which just about makes him the smartest and the fastest fox chaser in these parts?
No, sir, I can't deny that at all, Sheriff.
Then why in the Sam Hill you trying to tell me that dog ain't valuable?
Well, 'cause he ain't valuable, that's why. That dog don't look like no foxhound, he don't act like no foxhound, and he don't sound like no foxhound. Well, that pot liquor ain't even horn trained.
You say he ain't even horn trained?
That's right, Your Honor. And you know yourself that no dog that ain't horn trained is worth the salt it'll take to pickle him.
Say, Your Honor, why don't we just take him out and give him the horn test? I mean, that way we could get this thing settled right off.
Hey, that's a good idea. Sheriff, go over to Jasper's store there and borrow a dog horn, will you? And let's go to adjourn to the outside for a horn test.
Why did you have to go and see a thing like that for?
Say which?
About giving him the horn test.
Well, I thought that would be a smart move.
It's not. He is horn trained. He's what? I got him to hear it yesterday before the sheriff came.
back to our story.
You understand about this, don't you, son?
But, Your Honor, if he answers the horn, it's because I taught him, not because of Mr. Renders.
Nevertheless, I'd still have to hold him until ownership was definitely proved.
Please, sir.
Son, looking at me now carrying the years that I do, it probably seems that I never was a boy just like you. But I was. And I had a hunting dog that I thought just as much of as you do this fella here. So I know how you feel. But right is always right. I want you to be very clear about that.
Yes, sir.
Here's a horn, Judge.
Mr. Pribble, you go with that tree yonder and sound that horn, please, sir. Now, if the dog responds to the horn, he stays with the court. If he does not, he stays with the boy.
Yes.
Stand back away from the dog, son. Pribble?
Well, hold everything. He ain't blowing it right. Give me that horn. You ain't blowing it right.
Take a dog.
Hey, Gary! Gary!
Now, why didn't you stay put? I said I was going to come get you.
I got something to tell Jake.
Oh.
You, hear the hounds last night?
Yes, sir. Bristleface sure wanted to run.
Good thing he didn't. The crossfox is back. He might have been running yet. Some of the dogs didn't horn back at all, run on until daylight. You, better keep your fella tied up.
But why, Em? He's almost horn trained. He came when I tooted the other day. He did, Em.
Might be, laddie, but that wasn't in the heat of the chase. If I was you, I wouldn't take the risk.
But you said there wasn't anything to worry about. You said Bristleface could outrun anything, even the crossfox.
You got a powerful brute there, Jace, but it's chancy. I seen dogs run themselves blind, bust their hearts.
That's right, Jace. Now, you best do just like he tells you.
But he'll go crazy if he can't run free. Will it be for long?
It's hard to tell. Crossfox might stay on right through summer.
Uh-huh. Now, you make sure and keep him on a chain so he can't chew his way loose, eh?
We better get at it, Lou. Tomorrow's election and all. We've got to get in all the speeches we can.
Yes, indeed.
When a hound dog man 'cause he's off somewhere hunting fox and bear, while his wife plays second fiddle.
You're not going, and that's final. Now shut up. I said no, and I mean it.
Man, this ought to get some good one. Hey, Lute, I'll tell you, you sure throw the wingding.
This hog gonna hold out?
Oh, there's more than plenty here.
Sure wish Jace was here to see this.
Yeah, doggone, I'll tell you, something like this just happens once in a lifetime.
Once we get the chase started, I'm going down and see if I can get him to change his mind.
Why don't you just do that? Hey, look yonder. He's bringing the dog. Who looks more like a dog bringing him?
Change your mind, huh?
I couldn't keep him pinned up any longer. It wasn't fair.
He might just be the one that brings old Cross Fox to ground, too.
And maybe he won't, but he wouldn't want to live the rest of his life on the end of a chain. I know that if he had his pick of how to die, he'd rather die chasing the fox than any other way. You see that, don't you, Lute?
I seen that all along, son. I just didn't know you was growing up enough to see it, too, but I guess you are. Come on.
Let's get it started, Lute. Son, I'll get my dog.
Well, listen, you give him a good run, you hear? But you come when I horn. Now, look, there's just no...
No doubt about it. You've got the A#1 champion, Jace. He was the first to strike the scent, and he's been out front ever since. Daggone dog fest I was ever at.
Don't mention it, dude.
You got my vote, Luke.
I always did have mine. Tell the truth, I ain't made up my mind yet.
He'll be there, Lou, if we have to hog time. So long, Em.
Kid, don't you fret none. You'll be all right.
Em, why don't you go on home? No sense sitting out here in the cold and damp.
Expect you might as well.
Night, Em.
Night.
to ground, Briss. You did.
Jace?
He ran him to ground, Luke. Briss ran him to ground.
He sure did, didn't he?
He answered the horn, too.
Happened while I was out trying to run you to the ground. You want to know the first thing I done? I got that whole mess cleaned up about that Mr. Renders. See, I found this letter from him, and it says he wished that the sheriff would quit pestering him about that no-good off-breed dog. He says he run the dog off his place more than a year ago, and he figured it wouldn't amount to more than a hill of beans anyway.
That's not...
Don't get yourself now. Anyhow, you can quit worrying about it because he don't belong to nobody but you. Hey? Oh, there's something else too, Jace. Jace, you see,
We're to be wed, Luke and me.
Gosh.
Don't you approve?
Sure. Yeah, sure, but...
But what?
Well, I always thought when two people got married, they were supposed to like each other.